Gear up, scooter fam. So today I wanted to talk about a few of the Teewing scooters and compare them. We're going to cover the XTR, the XT, and the Z4. Before I get into that, though, I did want to share a code shared with me by a viewer for InMotion. It's an extra $50 off from the Black Friday price in the cart if you use the code InMotion IPC50. I'll put it up above for you. Thanks for that code. Always happy to pass that information along to other viewers so they can save as well. I did try this code myself in the cart, and it does work. So once again, thanks. Also, when I put in the cart, I noticed that it comes out to about the cost for shipping insurance, which was like $51, I think. This was for the I tested it on the InMotion RS Lite, just out of curiosity to see what it would be, and so yeah, you were able to still get that for $2,500 along with the shipping insurance. So real quick before I dive into this video, kind of wanted to talk about shipping insurance a little bit, and I know I also had got shipping insurance when I ordered my scooter from Fluid Freeride, my Klima, and I think it's crap is the best way I could say that. I think it's crap that they charge someone to make sure that your scooter gets to you okay after you just pay thousands of dollars for an electric scooter. I know things can happen in transit, but those things should be covered by them or the shipper, the person doing the shipping, so the carrier. So it certainly shouldn't. The responsibility to have it insured and to make sure that it gets to me I should be the last person to have to pay for that. Certainly separately from the scooter. So in my personal opinion, they should do away with this shipping insurance. And the reason why is because it should already be insured. It doesn't matter to me if the company needs to make that, pay for that insurance themselves and then just include it in the price. But don't tell me that I need to pay shipping insurance to make sure it gets to me okay, and then I have an option to do that or not. Make sure it gets to me okay and insure it yourself. If you need to include that in the price, so be it. But putting it on there and saying that, do you want it? No, I want it. Yeah, I want to make sure my scooter gets to me okay. I was scared not to get it, so I paid for it. But I shouldn't have to. Once again, roll it up in the price of the scooter. Don't tell me it's something different. I don't like it, but I see it as a necessity at the time because of the fear of getting it and not be covered, which would be a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And even though I got mine and I still had problems, nobody was tripping over themselves to send me a new scooter. And I paid for the extra insurance. So just wanted kind of get that out of the way. I think it should be done away with. But in this case, with the InMotion IPC50, you can do away with it that way. If you decide to get the InMotion Lite for Black Friday. All right, moving on. I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Scooter companies, if you're listening to me, do away with that. Cover it yourself. Get it taken care of. If you got to handle that with the carrier or get someone separate, like whoever it is that you're getting to insure this for the extra money, just include it in the price of the scooter. It's a little bit of a sting to the customer to tell us that we have to pay it to get our own stuff. Moving on. For the Mars XTR, it's $3,249. It goes 68 miles per hour stated. I think it tested at 65 miles per hour. Range is stated is 88. I think it tested around 57 miles per hour. 57 miles of range. And it has a 72 volt, 45 amp hour battery, dual 2000 watt nominal rated motors, 11-inch puncture resistant tires. It's IP66 rating. Um, very heavy, well over 100 pounds, like 120-ish or something like that. But it can also carry a 400 plus pound load. As far as the XT, we have comes in at $27.49 for Black Friday. Normally $28.99, so $150 off of that. It stated top speed is 65 miles per hour. To do an adjustment, I just did a percentage based on the actual and tested on the XTR, which comes out to just over 60 miles per hour and would be the expected top speed of the XT. The range is stated at 69 miles per hour, and 69 miles. And once again, based on a percentage of what the stated range was for the XTR, I did a similar calculation for the XT, which would be about 45 miles of expected range for the XT. The battery is a 72 volt, 35 amp hour. It also has 2,000 dual watt motors, 11-inch tires, puncture resistant, and an IP66 rating. A little lighter than the XTR, but still well over 100 pounds, but also can carry a 400 plus load rider. The Z4 is the final one here, and maybe the best bang for the buck of these three. Just a really good price at $16.99 for Black Friday, normally $17.99. So that's a very good deal. It's rated at 55 miles per hour, but based on a percentage calculation from the other two, I estimate top speed around 50 miles per hour. It has a stated range of 80 miles. Once again, using a percentage, I would expect around 52 miles of range. The battery is a 60 volt as opposed to a 70 volt, but it is a 40 amp hour battery, so still a really good battery, which would make sense why it possibly gets over 50 miles of range pretty easily. I will make a note to reach out to Teewing and see if I can get an answer on what the nominal rating is for the Z4. So I can't give an exact rating. I don't usually state the peak power, maxed peak power, because you can approach that a couple different ways, and so I stick with the nominal rating for the motors, and then you kind of want to get down to the weeds. You can talk about the motor controllers and the amps and so forth, but of course the bigger amps you got, the more you can get out of the motor, but and it results in a higher peak power, which is sort of how it's calculated. But like I said, kind of got to get into the weeds to sort that out. And so in any case, they both have 2,000 watt motors, dual 2,000 watt motors, and the XTR has a slightly higher amp motor controller, FOC motor controllers, as another viewer pointed out as well. So thank you for that information. And so the Z4 does have 13-inch tires, which is 2 inches larger than the XT or the XTR. Interesting enough, being the cheapest one, that's $16.99. Now, I might have said in the past, I don't necessarily see 13-inch tires as a upgrade from an 11-inch tire, as far as like wanting to warrant me paying more money. It wouldn't make me any like that much more excited to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay. So I wouldn't, but it is kind of a like, okay, that's nice. It's kind of interesting. You don't have to worry about bumps as much. Your torque probably isn't going to be as great with the larger tire, but your comfort's going to be better, and yeah, you'll handle potholes and so forth a lot better with a 13-inch tire. So that's a really big tire, and man, for that price, that's interesting. That's pretty interesting. The other two have IP66 ratings, and this one has an IP55, so it's not as waterproof as the other two, but still not terrible. IP55 is also what I have on the Klima, or it's X5, or one of the two, but it's a 5 water rating. Once again, the weight and so forth is very similar to the other two. It's in excess of 100 pounds and will carry a 400 plus pound rider. All right. Final thoughts on the scooters. In general, the XTR is the beast of the three. Really good range, really high, really top speed. The XT is just barely a step down from that. The range does drop fairly significantly compared to the Z4. Once again, probably just because of the battery size and so forth versus the rest of the scooter. I would expect, without knowing the nominal rating on the Z4, to be maybe 1500 watts per motor, just to guess, until I get a final answer back. But I'll find out. I'll try to see if I can get that information. In any case, for the money, like the Z4 really stands out. If you were gonna, if you're gonna spend over $3,000 for a scooter, the XTR is the way to go. If you're gonna try to get a good deal on a scooter under $3,000, the XT is also a really good deal. But the Z4 really stands out for everything that you get, including, like I said, the 13-inch puncture resistant tires. It really makes it an interesting option. So some differences. Once again, the XTR and the XT are pretty identical as far as like the basic look of the scooter. Some differences between the Z4 and the other two are the Z4 has a simpler cockpit. There's not as many things going on there, and to be honest, I kind of like it. Some things I don't like about the XTR and the XT are just the extra. Once again, the extra buttons in the cockpit. You still have the single dual eco turbo. I mean, they really need to get rid of that. Need to simplify that and put it all into where you can control all of that through the display and a single controller. So instead of having all this extra stuff, I mean, it's too much, and you need to simplify, make it more streamlined and efficient, and that's my take on that. It has smaller headlights, got like a dual headlight there at the bottom, so it may not be as nice and powerful as the big round headlight on the XT or the XTR. It does have a different dual stem design with the wider base and a narrow at the top versus all two. So it's probably not as stable at higher speeds, but it doesn't go as fast as the XT or the XTR. So you're probably okay in that regard. And that's really the biggest differences between them. I think that you do get some cool stuff with the Z Pro that I wouldn't pay more money, but the fact that you get it for less money kind of makes it interesting, if you know what I'm saying. Guys, if you enjoy this content and you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and happy riding.